Hello everyone, and welcome back to tomorrow's weather today. Today I have an update on Invest 92L, which is in the tropical Atlantic, headed off to the north-northwest towards the Lesser Antilles, the northern Lesser Antilles, over the next 5-ish days. Odds have come down since yesterday for the storm to develop. It was at 80-90 yesterday. It's at 70-80 now. As it's having trouble getting its act together, and we will see why on satellite and on the models. So looking at visible satellite and infrared, we can see still very broad. It's definitely more. There's definitely more convection going up than there was yesterday. I don't think it's really. It's still disorganized, very disorganized. It's very elongated and elliptical. The wave axis kind of goes like this. That's just a little thicker than I had it at. The wave axis goes like this. It's very elliptical in shape, and in tropical waves, this is very large. This is a very large wave. And tropical waves need to be small and circular in order to develop, and that is going to take time. The question is whether a northern piece of this gets its act going, or the southern one, and right now the southern one is getting its act together quickly. Looking at water vapor, we were talking about that dry air off to the north. Hopefully this loads, it does. And to the west, we can see that again here in brown. And this dry air will be headed off to the west just as well as the storm is. The storm is moving pretty fast at 20 to 25 miles per hour. Again, we can see that elliptical shape right there. Now, this is a big change from yesterday and a few days ago, as most models were expecting this to be a Cat 1, Cat 2 hurricane. Now they're all bringing it up to a moderate tropical storm at most. And I want to keep an eye on this this red line right here. I'll outline it right here. The AVNI. This model was the only correct one with Gonzalo, showing it go up and go down. So it'd be really interesting to see if this gets it right. This is calling about a 40-knot storm. So we'll see. We'll see how this model does with East. I don't know. Yeah, if with 92L, we'll call it 92L for now. With tracks, I will zoom in a little bit. We can see pretty good consensus of where this is going to go. Yesterday we were talking about possible landfalls. Today in the U.S. today it's looking more like it'll go offshore, and we'll have to see if for intensity as well. Going over to the GFS, we can see this elliptical shape right here in the 850 millibar cyclonic vorticity, and it's like that. And we will see on the model that this other one starts to get going, and this northern one, the northern piece, does too. And here it tries to consolidate. It's still very broad. We'll have to. We'll see on the on future radar what this looks like and if it is a tropical cyclone or not. Taking this ahead even more, you can see this gets a little strung out. It's definitely more consolidated there. We will see what this looks like with moisture and all that. Then it moves into the Bahamas. We will take a closer look at that. Moves into the Bahamas and then dies out as it moves off towards the north. And then actually moves into Florida, but then opens up back into a wave. There's our energy right there. You can see it right here. Oop, did not want to take that sounding. But you can get the general idea. Let's look at this really quickly. Oops, I did not mean to go back to OBS. You can see how big of a system it is. It's very weak. It's only keeping it a depression at most, and then it moves into Florida as barely anything. So the GFS isn't excited about this anymore. Forget what it is exactly I want to say. Let's see, is this it? No. Yes, this. As this gets into the Western Atlantic, you can see the wind barbs, or the upper level winds. You can see they come down like this, out of the northeast, and then come out of the southwest. We have an upper level trough right here, and in the blues you can see the anticyclonic flow right there, the upper level high pressure in blue. We have an upper level trough right here. This will be imparting some shear on it at this very point in time. And if we go over to moisture and we look at our relative humidity, look at that. We have all this dry air, and because of that upper level wind that will be pushing this out of the southwest, some dry air is getting into the storm. And look at all that look at where the moisture is to north and east. This won't be, if this comes true, then we're going to be seeing a weak system. Stronger systems, if we go back to this is a very weak upper level trough. If 92L was stronger at this point, its upper level outflow would be able to push on this and put it away. This information, I just watched a video from Levi Cowan, who is actually the owner of Tropical Tidbits, has his own YouTube channel. He's very good. He's a very smart person and knows his things about tropical cyclone. So I'll leave a link for him in the description below. I am citing him on this because I just learned it from watching his video. But this is an upper level trough, which is imparting some shear on the system. I'm going to take a area. I can't do that. Oops. Take an area sounding. It's too much. Let's take a smaller one. Still too much. Is that going to be a bit too much? No. 12 knots of shear. That's not really a lot, but you can see all this dry air in the mid-levels. Usually, if you had a moist environment, the red and green lines would be close together. We've talked about this in severe weather, but there's a lot of dry air in the mid to upper levels. So another thing that I learned from Levi today is that some of this vorticity, you'll see vorticity come off of 92L right here into this weak subtropical ridge right here. There's a high pressure out here. This will cause a weakness in the high pressure, and moisture will be dragged up here, coming away from this moist bubble that 92L would like. So it's going to have a really tough time to get going. Do I think it will still develop? Yes. Do I think it's going to be anything close to a hurricane at this point? No. Should the East Coast, should the Lesser Antilles, the other Caribbean islands, the Bahamas, Florida, up the East Coast, keep an eye, and Bermuda, keep an eye on this? Yes, definitely. Things could change, but as of right now, I don't think this is going to be anything like we thought it was going to be a few days ago. European, we can see that this system right here, very broad, coming in on a more southerly track, and doesn't even really develop it. It just brings it into as an open wave through Puerto Rico and Hispaniola right there, and then moves it into the Gulf, and then goes up. The energy goes up into the United States. So all in all, I think that 92L has a lot of time to get its act together. It's very large. It needs to consolidate into a smaller system in order to get low-level pressures to fall, and to generate more vorticity. There's a lot of spin with it right now in the mid-levels, but it needs to bring that down to the surface and create a low level center and have pressure falls. That is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a new video, and I will see you all tomorrow.